Check out this interview of Evan Spiegel, founder and CEO of Snapchat, on the value of bigger ideas.
I think the biggest thing that I took away from my time at Stanford and from that class was the focus on going after really, really big opportunities. Growing up here in LA, I think a lot of the business community that I was exposed to is more focused on cash flow, right? Like, how quickly can this business turn a profit? You know, how can we do that really predictably? How much cash are we going to generate? At Stanford, the business culture is entirely oriented around, well, how big is that opportunity? Like, is that a huge opportunity? Is that opportunity big enough? Because if you're not going after something that could reach billions of people, that's not that interesting. And that was a totally different way of thinking for me, combined with the venture capital approach, which is really to invest a lot of money early and scale quickly, and then build out the business later, after you've achieved scale, after you've achieved mass adoption.
So you're telling me one of the key ideas is big ambitions.
Yeah, and I think it makes sense because it's so hard to create a business. Your odds of success are so low. So it's really important that you go after something really big so that if you're successful, that at the end of the day, there's a huge opportunity at the end of the rainbow.
So if, I could open a coffee shop, right? And my chance of success is pretty decent. But if I go after building a new social network, which is something only a psychopath would do, then my odds of success are what, 1 in a gazillion?
Yeah, I think what is exciting though about the technology business is the way that it scales. And so I think what's different than your coffee shop example is once you build a great service once we build Snapchat one time, it can scale to 850 million people around the world, right? Whereas you'd have to go build a new coffee shop, on every street corner to scale the business. And so once I think you start seeing the world in terms of the potential to scale and the potential to build, a product or service that can reach billions of people, it really changes, the opportunities you identify or the things that, the services that you want to build.
He goes on to discuss his biggest failure, which was the result of pursuing an idea that didn't have a big enough audience. His very next idea was Snapchat.
But I think the biggest failure was Future Freshmen. And we also realized, like, even if we were wildly successful and we got, the million students, a year who apply to 4-year colleges or, something like that, we would have to then reacquire another million students the next year. And so we sort of had this realization that it was going to be really hard to build a big business and that we really ought to try something different. And most importantly, try to build something that wouldn't take 18 months to build before we got great feedback.
Good is the enemy of great. So think bigger, aim higher, and hit that subscribe button for more insights to push you forward.